All right, welcome back to City Cooks, everybody. MARAT'S upset because I saw his cheat sheet over there with the recipe. What does that tell you that we're making now, by the way?
Nothing. I don't use cheat sheets.
Really?
I've made this thousands and thousands of times. Why would I need a cheat sheet?
What does this say over here, then?
Unbelievable.
Are we making the Passover cocoa blintzes?
Okay, fine. It's the first time I'm making this, all right?
I'll put it right here where you can see it better. How about that?
Okay. Why don't we start? I'll start doing the batter, and then you can do the filling.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yep.
So I'll smooth that out a little bit.
So you can see it better?
So I can see it better.
There you go.
So for the batter, we'll need 3 eggs.
You tell me what to put in there, and I'll put it in there.
Water.
Water. Do you normally have cocoa
What about
blintzes?
half of that? Blintzes is not really a traditional meal on Passover, but you it's not, but you can get creative. Because usually with the blintzes, you would use flour on any other day, but on Passover, you want to try to get creative and seeing what you can make on Passover with the limited
see if you could make like the stuff that you would normally make, but with the Passover sort of rules attached to them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I put the water in there. What else?
Potato starch, which is right over here.
Potato starch.
The whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yeah. Now, some Jewish people don't eat corn. That's why you wouldn't use cornstarch as opposed to
Why wouldn't they eat corn? What are the rules with that?
Well, it depends. It depends on kind of what tribe you came from. There's a Sephardic, Ashkenazim, depending on what part of Europe you're from or Middle East.
Would be whether you eat corn or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, different people have different rules.
Okay, so that was a potato starch.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah,
all of it?
No, just about a quarter cup of that.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Right
there, that's good.
That's fine.
Well, see, we agreed on that. We both agreed that was a quarter of a cup.
I think
that's pretty
after
good.
a while, we're starting to read each other.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of salt, just a dash of salt.
Okay.
And a tablespoon of vegetable oil.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay.
And that's your batter.
Mix that up here.
We're going to take my really big...
Whisk.
Really big
and whisk it all up.
And whisk it all up. Now, if you would like to make the filling...
Okay, well, pass me the other bowl and I'll make the filling.
Yeah.
Okay. What's in the filling here?
You can feel free to use my cheat sheet for the
Great. Let me whip that out right there. What do we have here? Ricotta cheese filling.
Yeah,
okay.
Ricotta cheese.
Right here.
Yeah, that's right.
You want me to find
there you go.
So what would you normally have as filling? Is this the traditional filling that you're...
This is the traditional filling for blintzes, that's right. You would sometimes add lemon juice to it, or lemon rind, icing sugar. Again, icing sugar is another one that is off the chart for Passover.
Is this a dessert? Or what point would you serve
Yeah, this is a dessert, exactly. This is a dessert.
Okay, 1 egg.
Yep. Now what we're going to
1 teaspoon of sugar.
Now I just need a ladle, which we didn't quite get ready here.
Go get the spoon down at the end then. Okay.
We'll use this.
Okay.
I've got a hot pan ready here. I put a little bit of oil, and we're just going to add a little bit
I like the way you just give me your recipes
and get to it.
Let me go. You must have a lot of faith that these are going to turn out okay.
I think if I give you a recipe, then I do have faith. If I had told you...
You have faith in your recipe is what you have, right?
That's right.
Okay, so just mix this all up here for the filling.
See how beautiful
what did you do? Okay.
I've just added that to, it's a non-stick pan. I've also added a little bit of oil just to make sure with crepes you want to make sure it doesn't stick to the pan.
Okay.
It's almost like an omelet. Now the starch helps to get it to the consistency that you want.
Okay. Now this filling didn't have very much sugar in it. It only had about a teaspoon. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Well, you have quite a bit of sugar in here, plus you're going to have sugar in the topping as well. So.
Sugar, and more sugar.
Sugar, and more sugar.
Okay. Hey, that wasn't too bad, It
wasn't too bad.
Took a bit of a leap of faith. Some people would have been too chicken to do that.
That's right.
Except now it's really stuck, isn't it?
Well, it's a little bit stuck.
Well, there's always another one. There's always more batter. Don't worry about it.
Lots of batter, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly why there's lots of batter.
Exactly.
Okay, my filling's ready.
Your filling's ready?
Do you think I should put more cocoa in it? Doesn't look quite chocolatey enough.
Put a little bit more cocoa in it.
Okay.
The recipe is...
You gonna try again with that blitz? You can try to make one more?
Yeah, we're gonna make, there's one for me, one for you, right?
Do I get that one?
You get that one.
Okay. I get the practice one. That's good.
And that's it, right?
Okay.
And then basically we're going to add a couple tablespoons of the filling to the crepe.
Okay.
Roll it up almost like an egg roll. And we're going to top it with our topping that's got yogurt or sour cream. Again, sugar, a little bit of cocoa, a little bit of butter.
Oh, we can still use this one.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because it can still roll up if we put the filling on that side.
Go
ahead,
Should
I do that?
Try.
Okay. You move the bowl over to the other side there. Put that there. So I just have to roll it up with the filling inside, right?
Yep.
Okay, I can do that.
Put about a tablespoon. Okay, we're going to try this one again. Now, you know what the problem is? This is not a very good whisk.
What's you mean the spatula? That's a spatula. That could be the problem, too.
It's one that you provided. That's why it's not really that good.
I didn't provide that.
Oh.
Well, see, because if you knew that you were going to be flipping them on the air, maybe you should have brought your favorite spatula, and that way it all would have worked. Oh, that worked out fine. What are you complaining? Oh, okay, maybe not.
There you go.
Oh, good job.
3 times the charm. So, and with this recipe that I've given you, you can make about 6 or 7 like that.
How's that?
Beautiful.
Look at that. I made that look good. You could never tell if that didn't turn out properly.
But I would also just suggest, because you're going to put this in the oven, and there's cheese inside so it can melt, you would actually bring the flaps inwards.
Under?
Yeah, exactly.
So what I would do is I'd do
here, you can try it on
a
this
little
one.
of that, like that.
You can try
How's that?
this one. Exactly.
I got more to practice with?
There you go.
All right. Much more talk about Passover to come here on City Cooks. Stay with us. So same thing, 1 tablespoon, and then just roll it up?
Yep. Then we're going to do the topping.
Clip today's scrumptious City Cooks recipe from the Metro Vancouver newspaper, available at newsstands throughout the Lower Mainland.
An available V8 engine that can run on 4 cylinders for better fuel efficiency. And all 8 cylinders when you want more power. Introducing the new Chevrolet Impala. With an available intelligent 303 horsepower small block V8. It's a whole new animal.
Enter the deep end of moisture. Only new Olay Ribbons Body Wash adds a ribbon of actual moisture. The rich lather swirls across the contours of your body, leaving skin wrapped in 2 times the moisturizers. New Olay Ribbons Body Wash in lotion, cream, or body butter. Ribbons make everything beautiful. Love the skin you're in.
Psoriasis is a common and non-contagious skin condition that presents itself in the form of plaques. The daily discomfort that people experience makes finding a solution essential. Dermatologist Dr. Albrecht and Dr. Hong are studying an investigational medication for the treatment of psoriasis. So if you're over 18 years of age with moderate to severe psoriasis and would like more information, please call Guildford Dermatology Specialists at 604-585-1110 or visit researchtrials.org.
Well, if you would like to get an event catered, the People for You are Fired Up Events and Catering. You can give them a call for more information. You can also check out their website, firedupcatering.com. And don't forget to tell them Marat sent you, right?
Yeah, that's right. Call
Everybody
me, I'll give you a discount.
Call him. Huge discount. But that's
right.
not necessarily true.
You pass by a honk.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
You don't really want people to do that. Okay. We're talking about Passover today. We're going to go back to the first recipe that we made because there's more that we have to do.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be making the matzo balls. Now, we've taken this out of the fridge. This has sat in there for about 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
And we're simply going to form little matzo balls about 1 inch in diameter and put them into this hot boiling water.
Okay, now, why are we putting them into water? Why aren't we going to cook them in chicken broth? Because that's what we would be serving them in.
Yeah, that's right. But if eventually you're going to be serving them, you don't want the chicken broth to be cloudy. So, which the matzo balls will do to your liquid.
Right.
Right.
Why not cook them in chicken broth and then put them in different chicken broth when it's time to serve them?
That's not a good idea. If I brought it up, it would have been a good idea.
But it was my idea, so it was a bad idea.
It's not a good idea.
You're going to use that idea. Okay, so we have some in here already because they do get a lot bigger, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They really start to fluff up, but because the outside is fluffy, the inside is still dense. That's why they need to cook for at least 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Yeah, and the trick is to not lift the lid.
You mean like we just did?
Like we just did. But this is your batch, so...
Oh, I get to eat these matzo balls.
Exactly.
So absolutely don't lift up the lid because they won't turn out light and fluffy.
That's exactly it, right? Just
like rice.
Just like you would do rice.
Yeah, I'm very bad at that, by the way, because as soon as you tell me don't lift up the lid, I want to continually lift up the lid to check and see how it's doing.
Well, that's why not everybody's a chef.
I know, then they say don't open the oven door. I'm always opening the oven door. Okay.
And what happens? The cake flops.
Don't touch. Well, no, cake usually turns out fine. A little bit uneven. but the cake usually turns out fine. I can live with that. That's okay.
So we've closed the lid. We're not going to touch that for at least 45 minutes.
Really? Because I have to lift it up at the end of the...
You cannot lift
Just
this
before
up
we go to
for 45
commercial, I
minutes.
got to lift it up to show everybody what's in there. We always do that.
We'll figure something out.
We'll see how that goes. And now the chicken broth that's going to go into, you also make that in a very certain way as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, because you're going to be serving this as starting your course, you want to make your chicken broth very flavorful.
Okay.
Now, what I like to do is I like to add a clove of garlic, celery, onions, parsley, carrots, bay leaves, and peppercorns.
Okay.
Now, for 2 liters of water, use about a pound of chicken and let that simmer for about 2 hours.
Okay, do you use like the whole chicken, like a chopped up whole chicken?
Yeah, quarter chicken.
Right.
You know, a whole chicken, cut it up into quarters.
Right. Okay. And any particular parts that you think are more flavorful? Do you use the dark meat instead of the lighter meat? Or?
No, but put the whole chicken, you know, all the pieces inside the pot, and
2
basically...
liters of water and your spices
and all the spice and everything, and then you're going to be using the meat into the soup, into the presentation.
Oh,
Going to be chopping up the meat and also the carrots as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And so boil it for how long?
For at least 2 hours.
At least 2 hours.
At least 2 hours, so all the flavors can be drawn out from that chicken. You know?
Okay, and you must be, when you make your chicken stock, you must make quite a bit of it. Do you freeze some afterwards?
We don't do too much freezing. I like to make a lot of things really fresh.
Really?
And especially when it comes to soup, you don't want to take away from any of that great flavors. And we usually I like, you know, for our Passover meal, I usually make it the day of. Right. So it'll be ready just in time for the dinner. Then we can serve it nice and hot.
Perfect. Now, speaking of the Passover meal, we have here the Seder plate.
The Seder plate. Now, you know, this is where all the symbolism with the food comes.
Right. Let's start with this.
Let's start with it.
Why do you have that?
This is. Some people use a chicken bone. It's also referred to as a shank bone. And this has 2 symbols. One is the mighty hand of God reached down and helped the Israelites free them out of Egypt. And the other one is the sacrificial paschal lamb that was used to put on the doorpost.
Right.
So death passes over the Israeli people and strikes down on the Egyptians firstborn as the plagues.
Wow, that's a lot for that one bone to symbolize. Don't you think?
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a very important thing. Okay, next, let's go to that.
So, you know, you want to make sure you have that bone there.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, the celery, some people will use a horseradish, and that symbolizes the bitter lives of the Israelites through the enslavement. It depends. I mean, different Jewish people, depending on where they came from, might use different symbolisms.
Okay.
So you can use celery is a bitter vegetable.
Okay.
So.
And the parsley?
Parsley, again, you would dip the parsley into the salted water, which is right in the middle, and that symbolizes the tears that were shed, you know, in that time.
Okay. And
the hard-boiled egg, it doesn't have a direct meaning with Passover, but it's a general meaning of sacrifice and destruction of Jewish lives throughout history.
Okay, and finally?
And this is called charoset, and it's grated Granny Smith apple, a little bit of red wine. You can put nuts and raisins into it, and that symbolizes the mortar the Israelites used to, you know, build all those pyramids through the enslavement.
So you need all of these things on your plate, your traditional Passover
exactly.
meal.
I mean, you basically just make up your plate like this, you leave it in the middle, and that sits on the table throughout the days of Passover and throughout the dinners and the meals.
Wow, that is fascinating.
It's great.
Every single time.
It's a good holiday. You know, it's a unity, and at the same time, it's got so much symbolism in it. It's very important, close to heart.
Yeah, what a learning experience that would be.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be digging into our Passover items, and I'm going to take the lid off that right now to show everybody what's going on in there. I'm sorry, Brian, we have to. Yeah, we do. No, we have to take it off. Over 24 participating restaurants flaunt the many flavors of Italy. Dine Italia, a celebration of Italian food and wine, April 20th to the 30th.
I was down in Vegas last summer with a couple of buddies, and it was amazing. I got lucky and won a couple of jackpots. As a non-resident, though, I was surprised to learn that these winnings were subject to a 30% withholding tax. I thought my money was lost until I got back to Canada, and one of my pals told me about Refund Management Services. They specialize in recovering all or a portion of the tax withheld by casinos. I used their services and I got my refund. Call Refund Management Services today. They only get paid on positive results, so there's nothing to lose and everything to gain.
I was angry at myself that I was in such bad shape.
It's the most intense
challenge, both mentally and physically, I've ever experienced.
It is just a wonderful way to lose weight, get fit. It's something good for yourself, for your body.
If you're determined to get in shape, this program will help you.
You push yourself as hard as you can, and they'll push you that extra. So at the end of every day, you've done more than you ever thought you could, and that's what makes you come back.
Soldiers of Fitness. Real work, real fun, real results. Attitude check.
Sometimes you need a hand.
Be prepared. Choose a quality reactor LED flashlight. Only at Home Hardware and Home Building Center, your LED headquarters. With LED technology, batteries last at least 10 times longer, give you up to a 100-foot beam, and are up to 20 times brighter. In the car, at home, or as a great gift. See all the reactor LED flashlights. Only at Home Hardware.
Health is close to home.
When I was little, my mom had breast cancer.
The Royal Canadian Mint is proud to support the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation. The new 25-cent pink ribbon circulation coin pays tribute to brave Canadians and honors everyone working for a cure.
Now that I'm a mom, it means so much to know there's even more hope for the future.
Find this special colored collectible at Shoppers Drug Mart or look in your change and cherish it forever.
Get CityLine online. From food and entertaining to fashion and beauty. You've seen it on TV. Now get it online for free. And link up to the Splenda microsite for monthly prizes. CityLine Tuesdays. Brought to you by Splenda. Think sugar. Say Splenda.
City Cooks. Brought to you by the great taste of Sunrise Soya Foods. Celebrating 50 years of goodness.
We are back on City Cooks. This is the time when we get to try everything. We've been talking about Passover with Marat Dreschner from Fired Up Catering and Events. Is our Passover table complete?
Our Passover table is complete.
Really?
Well, it's complete for us.
For us, yes.
Yeah, the Passover table itself is so big, so it breaks the table.
What would be the main entree at a Passover table?
Well, you do lots of chicken. There's lots of meats involved and fish dishes and things like that.
It's huge. I get the feeling
it's just huge. Yeah, everybody cooks a little bit of something, you know.
You need a very big table for Passover,
exactly,
right? Okay, well, let's take a look at the dishes that we did make today. Let's start with our soup.
Yeah, we have the matzo balls with a very flavorful chicken broth. We'd like to cut up, well, I like to cut up some carrots into it. Sometimes put a little chicken into it as well.
Right, the idea is to keep it very simple, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Right, okay.
Well, because you have so much food to follow.
That would be just the first. Okay, and this would be our blintzes.
These are our cocoa blintzes. It's got the cocoa ricotta filling inside, and again, it's with a cocoa yogurt or sour cream topping. You can use yogurt or sour cream.
And all you did was mix the cocoa into the yogurt or the sour cream?
Yeah, and a little bit of sugar.
Of course, a little bit of sugar. And
always
our cake.
Sugar. And our Passover jam squares.
Okay.
So, you know, we've got the coconut in it, we've got jam and sugar and...
Those are very big.
Can I join you in that?
Big pieces. Mm. Well, that's very tasty. Mm. And you said you can use any kind of jam for that?
Any kind of jam. Apricot, I used wild berry, you can use strawberry.
Mm. Mm. What are your best memories of Passover growing up?
Just a family.
Yeah?
You know, hanging out with my family, going to the synagogue, doing the prayers, unity.
As a kid, is it something that you can get excited about when you see all the stuff on the table and you're going to be learning about all the different things that go with it?
Yeah, exactly. As with a lot of Jewish holidays, there's lots of learning involved, lots of family, lots of dinners, so...
And now with your family of your own, do you do the same thing? Do the kids have a special role when it comes to Passover?
It's just wonderful. My kids are now 10 months old, they're walking and stuff, so we put them in their high chairs, put a little, called a kippah on my son, and now they can actually join us on the table, and it's great.
And do you give them a special role? Like, do they have to bring certain things to the table, or are they just learning? Obviously, yours are too young at this point.
Yeah, exactly. They're just learning, but it's a great feeling to have them there.
Thank you, Marat.
Thank you, Simi.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on City Cooks. I'm taking the rest of this big piece off.
You can have a plate.
Well, no, I'm going to break it.